Luka Doncic just had one of the greatest individual seasons we've ever witnessed. Unreal passing.
It is a sweet pass.
Incredible playmaking.
Timeout call.
And mind-blowing shooting.
The outrageous scoop shot.
Full-on Luka magic. From the fans' point of view, it looked like Luka Doncic fully solved the complexity of NBA basketball and was destined to win his first NBA championship. The only problem was he didn't. On the biggest stage of his career, Luka Doncic fell short.
Luka, can you put your feelings into words? Obviously, tough loss, but you guys really had a great season. And I know it's not easy to think about right now, but just what's going through your head right now?
Nothing. Sad we lost. Not specific. I didn't do enough.
This is how Luka Doncic's success became his own detriment. To really understand how Luka's success tragically turned against him, we first need to go back. Growing up, Dončić was the definition of a basketball prodigy. As an 8-year-old in the 3rd grade, he was forced to play against older teenagers. By the age of 12, a time when I was trying to dribble with my left hand, he dropped a 54-point triple-double. And at 16 years old, he made his professional debut. Then by the wizened old age of 19 years old, Luka made history and won the EuroLeague MVP. Luka Doncic was born for NBA greatness, and it was only a matter of time until he proved it in the NBA.
He's going to be the best player in Europe in a couple of years. Trust me on that. In Europe.
Or maybe in the NBA. Luka.
In NBA too.
Funny enough, not everyone was buying the Luka Doncic hype. Some analysts thought his game wouldn't translate to the NBA, or that he wouldn't be able to figure out a role because of his lack of speed and shooting ability.
Feet is slower than rush hour traffic, okay? Really slow feet.
Really?
So his NBA comparison is Hedo Turkoglu.
A perennial all-star type player, but if
see
he's
that.
rid a couple great players.
Well, it took about 2 seconds in the NBA for Luka to shut down that narrative. In his first season, he averaged 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He put up the most triple-doubles by a teenager in NBA history, and won Rookie of the Year. A season like this would be most NBA players' greatest year ever. But for Luka Doncic, it was just a starting point. The following 5 seasons, Luka really started to figure out how the NBA worked, and the video game stats started piling in. Check out these per 100 possession stats Dončić put up over the course of the next 5 seasons. I chose this metric because it provides a way to compare Luka's efficiency and productivity against other players irrespective of the pace of play. Now, it's not perfect because it can't account for things like rule changes, but it's a decent standardization and can show you how damn good Luka really is. For instance, try guessing which of these players is Luka Doncic, LeBron James, or Michael Jordan. Player A with 40 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists on nearly 50% shooting, or player B with 40 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists on 45% shooting. Player A is LeBron James from 2008 when he statistically had one of the greatest years of his career ever. And player B is 22-year-old Luka Doncic from 2022. A season where he dominated, but it still isn't the best we've ever seen from him. Okay, how about this one? Player A with 44 points, nearly 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and nearly 50% shooting. Or player B with 44 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 54% shooting. Well, player A is Luka from 2023. And player B, the guy Luka statistically beat in points, rebounds, and assists, that's Michael Jordan from 1988, the season he won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and All-Star MVP. Crazy. But still not Luka's best season yet. Try this last one. Player A with 42 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. Or player B with 43 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, and better shooting. Well, player B, as you probably guessed, is Luka's insane per 100 possession stats from this 2024 NBA season. So who's player A? LeBron or MJ? Well, I lied. It's actually 3 players combined. The rebound stat is from 26-year-old Russell Westbrook, one of the best rebounding guards ever. The assist stat is from James Harden's 2018 MVP season. And the scoring is from Kevin Durant's 2014 MVP season.
You the real MVP.
In 2024, Luka Doncic crossed into uncharted territory. Somehow, he learned how to become a dominant scorer, a playmaking savant. efficient decision maker, and round mound of rebound all wrapped in one. But how did Luka do this? How can a 25-year-old outperform the scoring of MVP Durant, the passing ability of MVP James Harden, but still fall short on the ultimate title?
But I didn't do enough.
The answer to this question is fascinating, because the thing that makes Luka so great also led to his downfall. To truly understand that statement, we first have to understand how Luka operates on the court. By now, you've heard 100 times that Luka doesn't need speed to dominate the offense. Instead, he uses his size, change of pace, and basketball IQ to force defenses into awful situations. And he does it over and over and over again. Check this out. When left in one-on-one ISO situations, Luka treats the on-ball defender like a cone, instead putting his focus on the defense behind that player. If they're too spaced out, it's common for Luka to attack the rim and use his crafty footwork, like his slow step to finish in traffic, his Euro step, or his pivot to score with ease. If the defense rotates to stop the drive, Luka simply kicks the ball out for an open three, or drops a dime to the big in the dunker's position. Now, if the defense packs the paint, Luka goes to his mid-range, or his patented step-back three, which at his size and shooting ability are always an efficient option for him. Just ask Rudy Gobert.
Gobert's out there. Dončić maneuvers for the lead.
Also, Luka is a spectacular outlet passer who is capable of generating a ton of easy fast break points. Once again, keeping the defense on edge and forced to play at his pace. That's really the secret to Luka's genius. By controlling the rhythm of the game, he's able to exploit every weakness in a defense. He loves to find a small advantage for himself, reads how the defense reacts, then punishes them for that reaction. Obviously, the Mavericks have figured out that Luka Doncic is a playmaking savant, so they just give him the ball, like all the time. In the regular season, a Luka Doncic pick and roll made up 1/3 of the Mavericks' entire offense, which is absurd, but still not as crazy as his overall usage rate percentage. Take a look at this. This is a list of the top 25 individual seasons with the highest usage percentage ever. A valuable metric for understanding a player's role in a team's offense and how much of the scoring load they carry while they're playing. With one appearance on the list, we have great scorers who had an extremely busy year. Players like Carmelo Anthony in 2013, DeMarcus Cousins in 2017, and Jermaine O'Neal with the Pacers in 2004. A little higher on the list, and we find NBA elite like Michael Jordan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Russell Westbrook, and Joel Embiid. All offensive juggernauts in their own right. Then we have two players that appear 3 times, James Harden and Allen Iverson. Both players carried their franchises through MVP seasons. Luka has posted the highest usage rate percentage ever. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. He's done it 5 times. This 25-year-old has been entrusted with more offensive responsibility than anyone in league history. His incredible usage rate percentage has translated to 5 All-Star selections, a 2019 triple-double leader, a 2004 NBA scoring title, hundreds of MVP votes, and off the back of his success, the Mavs have reached the NBA Finals for the first time since 2011. But Luka's greatness has also become his Achilles heel. Sure, Dončić running your offense is an amazing luxury. He'll cover up offensive mistakes, he'll make role players look like all-stars, and you'll win lots of regular season games. But at what cost? Luka's body fell apart. He's been injured since the start of the 2024 playoffs. Right knee sprain, left ankle soreness, thoracic contusion. In Game 2 of the NBA Finals, we saw him bandaged up like he just got hit by a car. His injuries and hefty offensive responsibility was just too much, and led to awful defense too. In the regular season, Luka Doncic had a defensive rating of 113. And although he locked in during the playoffs with a rating of 109, the eye test tells you everything you need to know. Here, Jaylen Brown easily beats Luka off the dribble, forcing the Mavs defense to collapse. Brown passes out to Derek White, sending the Mavericks into rotation. At this point, Luka still hasn't recovered, so Kyrie pushes him, but it's too late to close out on Tatum, who penetrates again, forcing Kyrie to stay in the paint, which leads to a wide-open Holiday 3. In this set, the Celtics start with a Hauser screen to get the switch onto Luka. Jason Tatum briefly resets the offense, then blows by Luka with a simple crossover, finishing with an easy layup over Kyrie. Same situation here. Holiday sets a go screen, which is enough to catch Luka off guard. Luka can't move fast enough to recover to cut off Jrue Holiday, who penetrates and finishes with an easy bucket. This last one is brutal. In order to avoid an 8-second backcourt violation, Luka throws an errant pass, which ends up in a Derek White steal. Deflated, Luka sits in the paint instead of closing out on Jrue Holiday, who drills a dagger 3. Clearly, Luka is mentally and physically worn out. In the playoffs, he's made more careless turnovers and put himself and teammates into tough positions on both ends of the floor. Credit to teams like the Celtics, who built a deep roster and a strong system with great coaching. But if the Mavericks didn't rely so heavily on just 2 players to run their offense the entire year, maybe their team would have put up more of a fight. In my humble opinion, I think Luka Doncic needs to avoid the alluring trap of always trying to run the Mavericks offense. Take a page from the championship failures of Allen Iverson or James Harden. Their franchises bet everything on them to have the ball at all times. And then they both fell short when they faced more balanced and complete teams in the playoffs. Or better yet, take a page from Magic Johnson, who in the playoffs never posted a usage rate over 25%. Steph Curry, who barely broke 30%. Or Kobe, who notoriously never passed the ball, but still was under 35% throughout his entire playoff career. If Luka Doncic wants to reach that next level, he'll probably have to do the hardest thing ever and give up control. Less time on the ball running the offense, less dribbling, less shooting, but more effort on the defense. Luka Doncic playing so well this year turned out to be his own worst enemy. It resulted in injuries, mental and physical fatigue, and made the Mavericks believe that they could cut corners. I feel so confident about this take that I made this video before Game 3 of the NBA Finals. I've seen enough. The Celtics built a team that runs without their stars playing well. And Luka and the Mavs? He's been forced to carry everyone around him. But what do you think? Could a healthy Mavericks team beat a healthy Celtics team? And what should Luka do if he wants to win a championship next year? Hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments below.